Hey everybody, it's Anjanette from AJ's Personal Touch. How you doing? I have missed you guys. I haven't been on for a little bit, about a week or so. I did get some happy mail in the mail. I am not going to show that right now because my husband's going to be home soon. I'm not sure how long I have. I'm going to sit and crochet with you guys. I am working. Did I pull the wrong one out? I pulled the wrong one out. I am working on a baby sweater. I still need to message my doctor to see if his baby is like average size or smaller, or if he was born really big. Because if he happened to be born really chunky, like one of my nieces on my husband's side, and her baby's was, I think that's who I'm thinking of. If not, I think it may be my friend's grandson that I'm thinking of actually. If not, and he's growing quite big already, a 6-month size garment is not going to fit him. Sorry about this, that I keep bending over. And I realize you probably can't hear me that well when I bend over, so I can stop talking while I was bent over. I know there's one person who has an issue with sound. She's the only person who's ever told me that, and I've asked others, and everybody tells me, no, it's great. So, try not to turn my head when I talk or bend down like I just was. Anyway, I am working on the sleeve of this baby blanket. I am on round 11 and I have a total of 19. And then I have to do the other side, and I think there's a border. Do the border and then I'm done. So let me see. It's at the bottom, so I should be just starting the new. I can't tell where my seam is. It's kind of cool. I forgot the name of this stitch. I don't think it says on here the name of the stitch that we're using. So there's work from bottom up. No. I can't remember if it's considered the grit stitch. Basically, it's a single crochet, and then in the next stitch, it's a double crochet. And I don't think, did I have to pay for this pattern? I can't remember. Anyway, I think it's okay to tell you, like, pattern-wise. I'm not telling you how many exact rows, except for I told you how many I had to go on this one, but of the whole sweater or anything. So, but it's the stitch where you go half crochet in one, and then like either a half double or a double in the next. And then on the next row or round, you do the same stitch on top of it. It's not the one which I think is the lemon peel, where you do like a single crochet in one and then a half double or a double in the next one. And then when you turn it to go to the next row, you put the double where the half double, or the double where the single crochet was, and then the half double or double where, wow, I just totally messed that up. When you turn it, you start with the half double or double where the single crochet was, if you ended with the single crochet, and then you put the single crochet where the half double or double was. I got it. Wow. So yeah, I haven't done this one very often, but I think I made a washcloth with it once. where you put the same stitch in the same one around. I really like the design and the texture, but it's one of those designs where you really have to pull on the rows to try and count them if you don't keep track of them while you're working. By the way, welcome back to my subscribers and welcome into anybody new. What's going on with you guys today? It's been a while since I've heard from quite a few of you. I have a couple people who leave comments religiously. Thank you so much for that. I'd love to hear from some of you I haven't heard from in a while as well. I want to hear from all of you, every last single one of you. So, what have you been doing? What's going on with you? Do you want to share? Are things going good? Are things going not so good? We're in a not so good time here right now. Can't tell you about it. But it's one reason I wanted to sit down and video today, because I just needed some kind of a release. I needed to just sit and do something normal. But just sitting here and crocheting on my own, when I tried to earlier, I've been on the phone to my mom to see how she's doing, and then to my friend who moved to Alabama, who I haven't talked to in weeks, and I had been trying to, and she's just been so busy. So, hold on a second. I had to ball up my yarn because I had accidentally took the yarn from the outside of the skein, and I meant to take it from the inside when I had reattached my yarn, and I was just starting to have problems with the yarn from the inside that I had wrapped around the skein. I had to unwrap it so that I could use the outside yarn, and I wadded it up real good and put it down into the middle of the skein, which I have done on numerous accounts. Did I do something? Okay, no. I have it pulled, and it looks like my next stitch is a double when it should be a single. And I'm like, huh, but I have this, I'm pulling the stitch. You can't see this. I'm pulling the stitch back that way. Let me do this. I didn't realize that. Okay, oops, I just dropped. I gotta stop for a second. I need to find this before it gets caught in the chair. Okay, I am back, and I put my pillow here so I can put my work up so you guys can see it. Anyway, I had to ball up the yarn, so it is now sitting in the top of my project bag for the baby blanket that I'm designing. And yeah, it should be able to roll freely up there, but there's enough room that it's not going to fall out. I didn't put it in the bag that this was in because it would have went all the way to the bottom, and then it gets caught on the other either skeins of yarn that are in there, or if I have any other crochet hooks in there, which I don't think that I do, but I just didn't want to take the chance. It's nice to put it in a nice full bag. Okay, so that's one round. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to go. Sip on my coffee. Another reason I haven't been here is I have just had massive, massive migraines. Okay, and it looks like I pressed stop earlier, so I'm going to be splicing videos together. Good to know. I can't believe I did that. Oh well. So that one was about 6 minutes and something, so I know to add on this to it so I know my total time. Um, I was saying now. I said that I just finished a row and I think I have 7 more to go. I've really enjoyed making this because of the stitches. Um, and I love the yarn. It's my first time using this yarn. And it is the, of course, I'm gonna, my head. That's what I was telling you about, my migraines. Is, I don't want to turn you off again. Oh, yeah, kind feather. I knew it was something feather. I just couldn't think of the first word. I'm like, what is it? I should have known that because hubby always uses like friend, um, kind, amigo, all kinds of words like that. Oh, wow. I was talking to my friend and she asked if my face was swollen on one side. It's not. I think it's how the shadows cast on my face with both of the lights on. So again, please tell me, what are you guys working on? What's in your cup? One of my 2 favorite things to ask, especially when I'm on a live. I thought of going live, but then I thought this way, if I end up getting only, if I get less than 15 minutes, because I honestly wasn't sure if he would be home like in the next couple minutes, then I could come back later and slice another one onto it. Because when he first gets home, he's going to be a little loud because he went to the grocery store and he'll be bringing in all the groceries. So, yeah, and I keep on taking this down. I wonder if I boost this up a little bit. That's going down. Up, 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 up. There we go. I'll boost it up a little, and that'll help. I didn't want to sit with the computer in my lap and work because that's just really hard for me to do lately. I'm having issues with pain in my neck again, so I'm going to need to go get some trigger point therapy done. To call my doctor tomorrow to get in with him. I need to remember to do that tomorrow. I have been forgetting so many things because, like I said, my head has been hurting so badly. And there is another round. For those of you who came to the live with Kaylin and I last Wednesday for AJ's and Kay's Yarny Tales, thank you so much. For those of you who did not and who would like to come and see us in the future, we do a live once a month on a Wednesday. Although if Kaylin's schedule would ever change, we may have to change it to a different day. For right now, they're on Wednesdays. And for the foreseeable future, we told everybody our goals for the live during the live last Wednesday. I had a lot of fun on that one. We had some new people who came in. Had new people during the live for a while. We had some people who were my loyal subscribers and some who were Kaylin's loyal subscribers, which is always, always nice to have. That's, it's what we want. We want to see our subscribers come and learn from what we're talking about. Normally, we have something that you will learn from. the last couple in December, we decided to just get together and everybody crochet and chat, which we know we like to do because Kaylin has been coming to my virtual chats that I have in my, or had, and I need to find a way to get them started again, in my group on Facebook. They've changed the way they do things on Facebook. And it used to be, well, not at first. They didn't have the option when I first made a group. But when I made the group for AJ's Personal Touch, they had the option. I've had quite a few groups on Facebook because I used to be a direct seller. Seller. I used to sell Jamberry, which was a nail wrap. For those of you who don't know, I know some of you will. And so I used to have groups for that. But anyway, when I first started the group for AJ's Personal Touch, they had rooms. And the rooms were so you could go and virtually chat or just make a virtual voice phone call. We did the chats. We all loved them. At least everybody said they loved them. But they don't have the rooms anymore. They upgraded and they took the rooms away. I don't know why. I'm thinking that maybe that made it easier for adults to talk to younger children, but I don't know. I honestly don't know why. I loved it. Now, if I want to be able to talk for more than an hour, like when we do our cows, it's usually lasts 2 hours. And if I want to go and use Google Meetup, which is a good option because I can still control the chat by muting somebody, kicking somebody out if somebody accidentally comes in who's not supposed to be there and wants to not just turn around and leave, but cause issues. But I can moderate it myself, like I could with rooms. But if I want to do everything like have more than an hour, I have to pay for the program, which I'm not going to do because I can't afford it. I have to count right now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. Somehow I made it shorter. Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay. 2 more stitches in. I thought I had closed earlier. Actually, I'm just going to take that round out because I think I did it on the previous round. So I tried using the Google Meetup for my last one. But when the hour came and I had to switch over, we had to go out. I had to get another link to give to everybody to come in. One of my people didn't make it back in. And I don't know if it's because she just had to stop completely and go have dinner with her husband or if she had issues coming back in. She never told me. She just left. So I don't know if there's going to be problems having to do that. But we will have to do that every time we have something that's more than an hour. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16, 17, 18, 23. It's got to be from a few back. So I'm going to have to erase as I go. I'm supposed to have 25 stitches. Now, when I started my sleeves before, I had them in a good spot. I had gone up probably about here, and then I found out that I had made too many stitches instead of too few. So I had to restart. This may have been my culprit, because when you put it together, you're supposed to turn and go the other way, and it looks like I put the row together and I kept going in the same direction. Yep, I did. So, oops, I just lost a stitch. Let me put it back in there. Hopefully this will be my oopsie row, since that's what I did. That's what I get for not counting and just sitting here and chatting with you guys, because normally I count them almost every time, or every other, sometimes every 3, because I'm just doing the same thing over and over. And if it looks like there's no issue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 24, 25. That was the issue. I have 25 stitches here. I had 23 in the one before, so that there was the issue right there. Did I take another one? Yeah, I think I did. But let me see. Let me go put this together. Slip stitch, chain 1, and turn. Go into the original. There we go. Okay. Going along smoothly now, but now I need to count the rows. And this is a bit tricky, because with this pattern, not so much at the beginning, but to find where the very first row is has been pretty tricky for me. So just try to find where everything starts going vertically instead of horizontally. One, 2, 3, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's either 11 or it's 12. I always get so confused. That's why I've been writing it down. Sometimes it's easier to see from the back side, because on the front side, it just looks like how it's supposed to come together. Although this is a pretty reversible material, I just think it's just how the pattern went when I first put it on. Okay, there is definitely the row that I added it on. So 1, 1, 2. I normally don't have this issue. So let me know, do you guys have issue counting your rows sometimes, especially if you do a stitch like this where you have a smaller and then a bigger size next to each other, back and forth? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now see, now it shows 11. So let me count it down the other way. Now I can see the bumps in them. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Yep, I forgot to erase that one. see, if you look at it closely, if I show you closer, it looks kind of like there's ridges. I don't know if you can see them. Like this one puffs out a little bit, this one goes in, this one puffs out, this one goes in. Show it to you like that. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. And you can feel it. That goes out, in, out, in, out, in. Maybe on the back you can see it better. There you go. You can kind of see it here. Out, in, out, in. Yeah, I can get that up closer. You can see that better. So I use those ridges to count. The thing is when you get closer to where you attached it to the arm, you don't really see the ridges there because the row that you attach gets lost into the row that you're attaching it to. And that's the first row. So I have to make sure I count it. That reminds me of my knitting. If any of you guys out there knit also, here is my knitting. My washcloth that I'm trying to make with the knit stitch. I'm having a hard time counting the rows. I'm writing them down when I'm done with a row, but I'm just having a hard time. Now this one doesn't have, like you have to stop at this row or whatever. It tells you to go until it's 8 inches. But I'm sitting here one day and I'm like, I want to see how, if I can count the rows. So I can see where it's cast on and I can see that has to be the first time that I did the knit stitch. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I'm on 8. Now let me look because I have it written down over here. Yes, I'm on row 8. Now on this side, if I try to do the same thing, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'm counting 8 here today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's been the easiest I've ever had to count this. One side usually shows 8 and one side shows, actually I think it's 9. Oh, I must have slipped a stitch there or something, but doing it once or twice isn't going to be hurtful. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 36, 37, 38. No, I still have the number on, but maybe it's, oh, that's where it was. I'm getting used to knitting and trying not to split my yarn. So I had split my yarn back here on row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had split it on 5 and I didn't catch it to, normally if I see that on the ring here, do I have one on here? Yeah. Hey, be nice. Sorry about that. Right here, if you can see that, where it's a little bit splitty right there. I see that when I go through, I try to pick them up both on the same stitch. So you can't tell, that there's a split there. Well, I had missed it on one row over here when I had one, and I took care of it on the next row. So it's doing this. You can see that right there. I don't mind showing you my errors. I'm just learning. I'm going to have errors because I'm learning. Again, guess what? I'm learning. So, and I'm having fun doing it. And that washcloth is going to be mine because it's going to be my first one. And I hear everybody say how knitting washcloths are so much better than crochet. So I'm going to find out for myself. I mean, I understand they're probably softer. I know I made a Tunisian one for my mom. And oh, was it so soft. So, so soft. It was so nice. And I've been wanting to make another one for myself, but then I was like, I can do like I did when I was learning new stitches when I was crocheting. And that was every time I knew or found a new stitch pattern or a new stitch. Well, I guess it would be more patterns because I didn't learn that way when I was little, when I was being taught the different stitches. We learned by projects. And when I did a big project, I already knew how to do the stitches because if I remember right, the first year for 4-H, we had to use single crochet. And then the second year, we had to learn double crochet. And I think we could use both. I know I ended up making a scarf that had shells. And I wish I could find that scarf. I'd love to have it. But of course, my absolute favorite scarf is the one that I made for my grandma that I got back after she passed. I think Bob is home. So if he is, I'm gonna just end it here, and I'll say a proper goodbye when he comes in. But I'll just end it here and go ahead and put the two together and post it because it's like 28 minutes long. And I hope to be doing these more often. But if you can, tell me what you're doing. Let me know what you're working on below. Let me, I had started to say about Yarny Tales and I did not finish. Um, we're looking for suggestions of what people want to learn. Like something that we actually have to do a little bit of research on because it really makes it fun and interesting to learn about yarny things that you don't really, know. Like back when we were showing for Halloween, and actually it wasn't Halloween, it was Thanksgiving. And we learned how Thanksgiving actually started and not the way that we learn in school. Are you coming? But hold on one second. Okay, so not the way we learned in school, but actually, how it started. Because it wasn't the oh so sweet sit down with the Indians and everybody got along together. And it was more like they had um, harvest festivals and things, and actual Thanksgiving didn't start until later than, if I remember right, than the year that they actually credited for. So that was really interesting to go and deep dive and learn more about that. So what we want is to find out what's interesting to you that we can go and try and find, because we know we're not going to find information on everything. The first thing that we want to do right now that Kaylin and I had decided is we want to look into the system of stitches. Because the UK uses one stitch, like our single crochet is actually a double crochet in the UK. And actually, I think almost everywhere else. But we have a completely different system. So why is that? And maybe even incorporate the hooks. Like, why are the hook sizes different between the UK and here? But that, I don't know. We'll see if we run into that. We may actually make a whole separate one on that. If anybody's even interested in learning. I'm interested in learning about the stitches because, of course, being a tech editor, that interests me. So I want to learn why they're different, if we can find it. Somebody else just asked me yesterday, she didn't put it because she thought of it while her and I were talking on here. So she didn't post it anywhere, and I need to write it down before I forget. She said it would be interesting if we could go and research and actually find out, when did knitting actually start? When did people actually start knitting? And when did crochet come into the picture? And has crochet actually, because my thought is crochet's been around longer than people even think that it has, because everybody says knitting was first. What if crochet was actually first and they called it knitting because they called everything knitting? I know in the UK they still call basically everything knitting, whether it's actual knitting or crochet. So she's like, why don't you, see if you can find anything on that. That one's a little bit more iffy, because I know when I've tried to look into it before, I just saw it started a long, long time ago, long before you ever, would have realized, and then she said, and what did they use for hooks? I know that a long time ago they actually carved bone into hooks. I'm sure they carved branches, wood into hooks. So, like maybe look and see, when did steel hooks start? When did resin hooks start? Lots of different things when you look at it that we could try and look into. So, if you're interested in learning anything along the lines that you would like to know, how did this start or that start, or why is this called this or that called that, let us know and we would love to look into it. And if we can find anything, we'll let you know. And then we would also like to know, if you want to learn things like, last year we did micro crochet, and our friend Donna came on, and you have to forgive me. I think Lisa was the name of the other lady who came on, who was friends that Kaylin knew. So, and they opened up a whole big world that I didn't even think of in micro knitting. And actually, I think it was about a year ago, because I think it was around Valentine's Day, because Donna was making little hearts, and she said she was going to send them to me. So I don't know if she's finished them or not, because she wanted me to be able to make stitch markers out of them. So, which I haven't made any stitch markers in a while, but I plan on it. I just got to get some work done in the back room. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. Sorry, I always feel like I'm shouting when the furnace comes on. And if you have any questions, like, when I was talking about that though, the micro crochet, if you want to learn about something, but we don't know about it, we can always find somebody who's experienced in it. Like we want to do one that we have somebody who said that she would come on, but I can't. Oh, actually, I think I may have mentioned it on the live, but I didn't mention who the person was. I'm not going to mention it right now either, because I want it to be a surprise for you guys until the day that we do it. But we're going to do an episode on dyeing yarn, and we have somebody who actually sells hand-dyed yarn who's going to come on and talk with us. So I am very, very excited about that. And I know Kaylin is too. I'm just waiting to hear back from her which date works for her, because we have 2 different dates to pick from. But it will be the episode in April, as long as it works with this person. If not, then we will have to move it to a different month. So anyway, I'm excited about the new year over on AJ's and Kay's Yarny Tales. I'm also excited about the new year here as well. I also wanted to keep this a little bit shorter because look at this. Once things settle down here a little bit, now that my husband is home and I talk to him for a little while and have my, Sunday time with him, either today or tomorrow, I'm going to get on and start reading Anna Karenina again. And I am so excited about that. You guys are too. I know some people were waiting for me to get the whole book done before they were going to listen. So for those of you waiting, I'm going to get it started back up. I know I have at least one person who would wait until I had like 3 or 4 videos taped, and then she would watch them. So I think where I left off, she only had 2 of them that she didn't see, so she was waiting for me to tape some more. So I will be starting with chapter 16. And that is in which book? Let me see. My bookmark keeps wanting to fall off. It's one of those magnetic ones that I've noticed that after a while they don't like to stick together anymore. That or I have too many pages in it. Part 3. I keep calling them books, but we just started part 3. Let me see. I never did go and look at this. I was curious before to see how many parts there are in here. I am so excited to be able to get back on here and do this. Also, there's another question I have for you guys. I would like to know um, something that Kaylin does on her channel, and I have thought of doing it on here, is she sits and crochets like I did today, but she doesn't chat with you. She actually leaves it silent while she's playing. And I think sometimes she may put music on. That's okay from Facebook to put on. So I don't know. I can't remember if she does that or not. I think she just takes all of the sound out of it and leaves it silent, except for at the beginning when she talks to you, and then at the end when she, is saying she'll see you later. So, would any of you guys be interested if I did that? Just sit here and crochet and let you watch? Um, if so, because I know some people like to do that because they're lonely when they're at home and crocheting, and they like to have somebody else that they can look at who's also crocheting. Let me know if you like that. If you do, I will at least make a couple videos like that. And I do have one more massage video to do to finish out the series that I had been doing, but I had gotten sick. I want to show you the massage for the front area here, like on the clavicle bone and then the fronts of your arms. I can't remember. I'm going to have to go back and look. I don't think I did that one, but now that I'm thinking about it, I may have. But I know I was practicing what I was going to do for the video, so that might be what I'm remembering. So, but I will go and look. And if not, I think I remember the last time I looked, it was not there. So I will come back and do that with you. But I'm going to go for now. I have got to get some Greek yogurt. I am hungry. And that's a good snack for me to have. I'm back on my locale and chat with my husband for a little bit. And I may be back later to read this. And if not, I may come on and show you the Happy Meal that I've had sitting here. Talk to you guys later. Hope you're all doing well. Remember, you matter. And don't let anybody tell you that you don't. You're beautiful and you're gorgeous. And again, don't let anybody tell you that you're not. Because every single one of you is beautiful, gorgeous, handsome, whatever positive word you want to use for the fact that you're just so gorgeous and precious. So I will talk to you soon. Love you so much. Later.